your issue, and we can work together to bring it down to address the root cause of the problem. Root cause. We'll get to it. Or at least I will do everything in my power to do so. And, well, I am so looking forward to offering authentic healing work. If someone were to ask me, well, what have the spirits done for you? I'm proud of this. Like, I feel like I could just make a t-shirt out of it, because all of that I do is built upon, or incorporates my spirituality and founded on that. And for me, that is a blessing. If someone asks me what have they done, my answer is, what haven't they done for me and they continue to do for me? And I mean, they have exceedingly abundantly exceeded my expectations. I remember when I was 7, when I attended my first service, or what I remember as my first service. I was called, like, it was towards the end of the night, and this woman comes over, and you get me stand on that lead, like, she had, you know she had the spirit on her, and she was like, oh, you're my child. And I was like, well, what is she talking about? Like, I didn't even understand what was happening at the time. And at the age of 11, I just did readings for people. Like, I just kind of like picked up on it and did readings for my friends. And that led to a series of events leading up until I was 18 years old. And, when I was initiated, or, went through the council in Haiti, like, the plans were made for me, arrangements were made for me, all expenses covered for me, and really all I had to do was accept. My mother was just like, hey, I would like you to go somewhere for a few days. And, trusting my mother, I went along. And when it came down to it, I accepted with one condition. And the condition was that I would be able to offer healing to others, people around the world, because it's just an awesome experience. And I also wanted a point of reference. And I remember, after I completed my degree in communication and culture, because I was like dead set on, going back to Haiti, I even considered passionately, going back to Haiti and finding, maybe a root doctor, not a root doctor, a médecin fait, who I could work with, so I could learn about the different roots and herbs and things like that. Roots as in really like sticks and stems. And and I found a program here in New York, in America, everything paid for, even when I began to have doubts while I was in school, about, continuing with the program. And I just finished, my bachelor's degree, and I was thinking maybe I should just, go into the corporate world. I met someone who offered, like, instantly, like, okay, well, what do you need? Do you need to go to school, tuition? Like, I'll cover your tuition. Do you need a car? Do you need a house? Like, whatever you need in order, to continue your education. And for me, it was like, okay, I got it. And I wouldn't give it up for anyone, really. I've developed a wholehearted respect for the Loi, because they have proven themselves to me time and time again. It's even beyond that. They have abundantly exceeded my expectations, or whatever I asked of them have exceeded time and time again. So I will not stop serving them until I have fulfilled my purpose. They see something in me, and I see them as beautiful and awesome. So, mumbles and ugas and priests and priestesses, come a dime a dozen. But the truth is that we all have our own purposes to serve, right? We all have our own purposes to fulfill. And one thing that I have noticed lately, um, in religion, within Voodoo itself, that's happening in Voodoo, is that people are getting involved in Voodoo and don't really know what they're getting themselves into, and some do, but for most, it seems, or lately it seems like it's been about a title, and it's not anything about a title. This is an actual profession, and you are to take sacraments, so make and swear and take an oath, and really depending on, maybe if you were involved in with Guinea or not, I don't know. It all depends on what it is that you do, but somebody who's from, Guinea, really, it's a profession, and there's a code of ethics that comes along with it, and a lifestyle that you must lead, not just the 41 days after, because you change. There's a shift in consciousness. They don't call it degrees for nothing. They don't say, oh, you're, the third degree priestess or second degree sous point priestess for nothing. You're no longer in that state of consciousness where you do not know. So there is a change in your lifestyle, really, and an oath that you make, a promise that you make, sacrifices that are made. And sacrifices, I tend to shy away from that. But when you are in that role, if you are in a role, any kind of role, with, that people are coming to you, it requires a certain level of discipline. And I think that one thing that is overlooked or not discussed is definitely the aspect of nutrition and spirituality, or for people who do healing work, or, for a mumble, or for a priestess, or, you know, whatever it is that you're doing where you're working with others. It requires a certain level of, you need clarity. And we just went through a solstice, and that shift, really, as a healer, or a energy worker, healer, if you're involved in something like that, it's a time that you go through for yourself, where you go through a purification process. And I think that that's why a lot of people go from house to house, trying to get that feeling that they had when they went through the process, the initiation. They're trying to keep that feeling going, and you can definitely do that. Um, depending on the lifestyle that you lead, the lifestyle that you live. And a huge part of it is nutrition. People are sick. People are wounded. Um, we are bombarded daily, daily, with everything that is going on within our bodies, with what we take into our bodies, and in our external environment as well. And it does have an effect on who you are and how you perform and how you react, and this experience called life itself. So it's 2012. I've kind of been holding back for a little while, but now I'm ready to get this thing going, putting up the videos. I think what I admire about Haiti and Haitians so much is that they stay connected to their roots. And that's definitely something that I wanted to do, to just stay connected to the essence of what it is. So stay tuned. And in the meantime, in between time, take care. Bye bye.